Welcome everyone, this is Edwin Anthony back at it again with another video for Shopify tutorials. In this video we're going to talk about kind of similar to what we spoke about in the last one, but this one is specifically for those who are selling drop shipping. In the previous video I talked about how to set up your first product if you're a private supplier. Private supplier means that you are the one who makes your own products either by hand or you have a local fulfillment or a manufacturer that ships out the products to you in bulks, and then you go ahead and you ship them out yourself. This video, on the other hand, are for those who do drop shipping, meaning companies such as AliExpress, Printful, where they ship on your behalf. And a very popular software that most people use or business is AliExpress, and that's what this training is going to be about. How do we set up a product when a product is from AliExpress or for drop shipping such as Printful, etc. So let's go ahead and begin right away. If you're super brand new to Shopify, of course, you haven't done anything related to Shopify, go ahead and download Shopify or create an account for the first time. I set the link down at the description so that you guys could get like a free trial, and then just follow my instructions step by step that I'm going to be going over with you here, okay? So once you've already established your Shopify account, you should be in a page similar to something like this. If it doesn't look exactly like that, it's kind of like this. Don't worry about it. We're focusing over here where it says products. And on products, this is the database where all your products will live. Now, mind you, just because it lives in this aspect of the backend doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to live on the front end of your website. In other words, what your clients are going to see. No, this is just the first phase of installing your products into Shopify as a system. In the part 2s and 3s, I'm going to explain to you on how to, after you add these products into the system, how to add them into a collections category, and then how to set up the main menu system on the front end of your store so that the products and collections show up as your customers would want to see it. Okay, so just so that you guys are aware, this is the first part of the series because there's a lot to talk about, okay? All right, let's get a quick tour of the products database system. Imagine like you're working at retail and this is the stock room. Not a lot of customers get to see this. It's just the people who work there, right? So that's what this is. This is the database where all the products would live. We have some common things right here that are pretty obvious, but let's just go over them. If you've already set up a picture for the product, the pictures are going to show up here. We have the product titles, as you see right here. These are all product titles. We have this little eyeball right here so that if you want to quickly preview on how this product looks on the store at the moment. By the way, shout out to the architect team or the folks who built Impulse. We use Impulse a lot. We strongly promote Impulse. Impulse is a very clean theme and it works just great. Shout out to those guys over there. So if you guys want full training on how to set up the theme of Impulse, I have a course and I have a part 1 that I could share with you afterwards. But this is a very nice theme. So this is kind of like the layout that we're looking for, more or less, okay? And let's go back to this right here. So if you want a preview as to how that product looks like, just click on this, and that'll take you to that. Right here where we have statuses, just to let you guys know, there's 3 of them all together. You might not see all 3 of them right away, but active is the common one. Active means that this is a product that we intend to sell. That's what active means. But then there's another one that's called draft. Draft is when we're creating a product on a live website that we don't want this product to show up yet on the store. We just want to work on the back end here first. Okay, so we set it up as a draft. And then finally, the third one is archive. Archive is when we don't want that product anymore, but we don't want to delete it. We want to keep the historical reports and sales and all that good stuff. So we don't want to remove the product itself. We just don't want it to show up on the website for whatever reason, right? So one of the most important things to make sure that your products is set to active if you want the product to show up on the front end of your store. Finally, we have inventory management. This is important, especially if you're working with drop shipping. Those folks who have drop shipping, the manufacturers, they have tons of products and they have other vendors just like yourself. So you always want to keep an eye on this inventory to make sure that if you're running out, if it's looking like it's 10 left, hurry and find another supplier before your stock runs out and you cannot sell that product anymore. So make sure that your inventory column, you pay close attention to it, because something like this and you can't sell it, that's a loss of sales for you. We're going to talk about variants also in a moment. What type of product is it? Is it a dress? Is it a blouse? Is it, pants, however you want? And then vendor. For drop shipping, vendor doesn't matter too much because you're not going to show the Chinese manufacturer. You're not going to say Xing Shuang or whatever, right? You're not going to do that. So you might want to just keep the vendor as your business name. So right here, just whatever your company name is, just put your company name across the board right here. We're going to talk about how you could do that in a second. So that's a very quick tour on the interface for products. Okay. And of course you have a search and filter if you want to search for a specific product, if you want to sort them out a specific way, and all that good stuff. Okay. All right, let's dive into the properties of the product, description, and so on and so forth, so that we know what we're going to be working with. Back over here, we have the title. This is the product title, okay? I strongly recommend you guys to create your own product title, and if you are hoping to score good for Google SEO, make sure that you have those keywords properly set up. So I've seen other businesses that do drop shipping that what they do is literally they grab the title from this whole thing that almost looks like an essay and they copy and they paste it to this, and that's not good. These folks, they don't care about their product title showing up on Google and first, second, third. They don't care about that. They just care to attract you to say, hey, buy this product, right? So don't go based on what this is called over here. Make up your own name as long as it's properly categorized for keywords. So in this case, it is a dress, right? So we're calling it the baby doll dress. The keyword is dress. Okay, that is the keyword. And then this one is kind of like the color and the code that we're making it. But it's straight to the point. It's not something that it's huge like this. So make sure that your titles are nice and straight to the point. Next up, we have a product description. Shopify has integrated an artificial intelligence system in case if you guys have issues creating a product description. And that's this little interface right here. We're going to work on that in a few moments. So this is where your description lives. You could go ahead and use the rich text editor to, do some things like that, feel cute. Set up the alignment, add an image in here, add a video in here, do some HTML if you want to. That's what this is all about. So it's pretty jam-packed of good stuff. Status is what I told you earlier, if this is a draft product or not. If we were creating it for the first time, we'll set it up as a draft, but as of right now, it's active on the store. Sales channels is think of the different ways of how you're going to sell this product. So right now, obviously, we're in a Shopify store. So that's what this means, online store. But let's pretend that you also have eBay in your sales channel, which shows up right here. It might or might not, depending on your setup, right? So you might show up eBay here, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, Google. All of those are different channels that one product can be put together, but then you're selling on different channels. As of right now, we're only selling on Shopify, so this is what you're going to see here. You guys might see the same thing, but this is just what it means in case if you don't know what this is all about. It's how many channels it's going to show up on. Finally, the markets. If you're in the United States, it will show this here, and international. But if you want to sell just domestically in the United States, it will tell you, hey, this is strictly just for the US. All right, and then publishing, you can manage which sales channel this product would show up on and which one it would not show up on. It's really entirely up to you. We have some organization here on category, like, the product category for tax purposes. What is the product type? This is dress. Vendor, like I told you before, I would put your business name here. Collections, we're not going to talk about this now. We're going to talk about this in the part 2. So let's omit this for now. We have our obvious images that could get imported from AliExpress. We'll talk about the organization here briefly. I'm just giving you a quick tour. Variants, so every product has either a one size fits all. Let's pretend it's a candle. So it's just one candle at 16 ounce, or maybe it's a shirt. It's a shirt that might come in different colors and sizes. And that's what variants are. Variants is that it comes in a variety of different sizes or different colors for that one specific product. Okay. So let's write down on our notes what this means. A variant. A variant is when a product comes in different shapes, colors, sizes, however you want to call it, right? A variant dimension is what are the different categories for the variant. In our case, this dress comes in different sizes and potentially could come in different colors. As of right now, I just put this color, which is army green, for showcasing purposes. Okay, but yours could just be like, forget it. We're just going to put the color green up top over here, and we're going to leave the sizes here, and we're just going to have one variant dimension. But this product comes in 1, 2, 3, 4 different variants based on that one color. That's what this means here, right? So if anybody asks you, hey, how many products do you have in your business, right? Or in your store, you're counting how many product titles, if anybody asks you, right? And if anybody asks you, based on your products on average, how many variants per products, you'd say, hey, on average, every product has about 4 variants. Right? So these are just some terminologies you want to make sure that you write down and that you understand how that lingo works. And then finally, we have the breakdown of those variants. Some of the variants might come in different prices depending on the size, right? And each variant might have its own availability depending on your dropshipper, right? They might have 5 of this, 2 of that, so on and so forth, right? So that's what this means here. And then the SKU, they might supply it. You could make it up yourself. It's really up to you. Finally, here we have what it's going to show up on Google. I strongly recommend you play around with this, but I go really deep into this type of analogy or explanation on our SEO course, right? So we want to rank very strong on Google. So that is a very quick insight as far as what are all these features about. Okay, so that's a very quick training. You guys understand the properties of the product, and we understand the database of the product. Let's go ahead and start getting some AliExpress stuff over into the store so that we could start equipping some of this stuff. So the first thing that I would recommend is look into the App Store. If you guys don't know how to get there, the way that we get there is, let's go scroll down here for a second and look for where it says apps. Let's click on where it says add apps. You see this huge dialog here. And we want to go to the App Store. You're going to type right there or click right there. And we see, look, Printful. If you guys are doing t-shirts, this is pretty cool. That would be a whole different course because Printful is pretty fun. But they just cost a lot. Anyways, that's a different science. What you're looking for is this guy right here. Ali Order, AliExpress Dropship. So let's go ahead and add this app into this. This is saying, hey, Fire Apps wants to install this into your store. Are you okay with it? You cool with it? Because this is what it's going to do. It's going to grab this information. Let's go ahead and install the app. And once we have installed the app, it gives you a little welcome message. Welcome to Ali Orders. Next, it can give you a quick overview. We're going to skip all of this stuff and let's just get started right away. All right. The ultimate guide. Yeah, I'm already making this guide. Thanks. No thanks. Goodbye. Okay, so we are here. So this is kind of like a little pre-mock-up of what this is over here on Ali. Okay. So let's exit out of here. They have a situation right here where you could find the product. And in my opinion, it's not even all that accurate because if I type in women's dresses, right, then I get gloves, I get bracelets, I get other things. You see what I'm saying? And that's not good, right? I've cleared my caching. I've done different browsers, and this search tool is not complete. They don't even have search based on URL so that you could copy the exact URL of the product from Ali and paste it here so that you could go ahead and import it. So what I did was that I found this other app that's called De-Essers, and I'm not saying these guys are better. I think that it is as probably bad, but let's just, it got a little bit further, right? So let me just show you what I did. So I went to where it says Supplier Optimizer, and I went over here and I grabbed the URL from this specific product that we want to add into the store. So once you're already signed up with DSers and you do all the shenanigans, go ahead and copy paste the URL that is listed there and press search. And then it's going to give you kind of like either competitors or someone else who's selling similar products. As you can see, here's the picture of that same girl. Here's another one, another vendor, right? This one sells it for $901. This one sells it for $26.25. You're gonna see different prices, obviously. But once you find the product, and based on everything that you see here, you go right here where it says add to import list. And then it's gonna show up over here on this panel, okay? It might take a little bit of time in order for this to show up, but let's go ahead and migrate and push over to Shopify once you have all of this set up. We're not going to continue when out of stock, and we want to publish it on the online store, okay? Let's see here. So pricing rules, blah, blah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and push to Shopify. Once this is done, it starts grabbing all the images, all the product title. If there's variants, it starts bringing it over. It brings over costs, which we're about to go ahead and update in a moment. But that's just kind of giving you an idea on how to use these platforms so that you could push the products over into Shopify. Let's triple check our work to make sure that this did in fact go over and push this to the site. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward here. All right, so I was able to find it by just typing in women, blah, 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 and all that good stuff, right? So let's go here and let's edit some of the stuff because we have tons of things that wouldn't go so well. The one drawback that I don't like about these dropshippers is that they put their logos and all that stuff. It's very inconvenient. I would say just put the one that doesn't have a logo on it. I think that would work out better. And then just eliminate the ones that do have logos on it. Then we have some specifications here. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on right here. So let's go ahead and remove all of this and let's call it, all right, let's see, dot print ruffles, bodycon dress, or summer dress. So let's call this something of the sorts, right? And we have a whole bunch of information, origin from China, all this stuff. We're only going to keep the stuff that's actually very important. Let's go and grab all of this text, copy. Let's go to the AI generator. We're going to paste those keywords up in here. Okay. We're going to sound persuasive. And let's see what text it generates based on everything that we've provided from, there you go, right. This comfortable eye-catching camisole dress will make you stand out this summer. Okay, silhouette shaping, dresses exquisite and flattering, ruffle decorations, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and keep that. Okay, and let's get rid of this right here. All right, notice how I made it into an H1, that's fine. Let's hover over this and let's make it into a paragraph. And let's get rid of any extra spaces that it might have. Wonderful, yeah, not bad. All right, so we have some pictures, we have a nice, decent title. Let's overwrite this and save it. Okay, and we have some of the stuff going on here. Product type, obviously this is a dress. Product category on clothing. Yep. The vendor, you want to say your business, right? So just for our purposes, we're going to put that there. We're not going to touch collections yet because that's going on the next video. Now here's the funky stuff, right? Color 1, 2, 3. There's no such thing as color 1, 2, 3, right? So as far as what we're noticing here, let's see here. We have the dotted dress. So let's kind of like combine this. Let's imagine that the watermark wasn't there anymore. So we have one color, right? And then we have every color kind of like just listed once. So let's go ahead and delete some of these duplicate images. Okay, so let's delete those files right there. We don't need them. And we have, I think this color right here is very similar towards the original color, right? Towards this one. Very similar, it's just that that one has the tag right here. So it's just 3 colors. So for that reason, let's go ahead and delete this guy right there. Okay, we have 3 colors. We have the purple, we have the teal, and then we have kind of like a orange peach type of thing, right? So let's go ahead and edit these colors. And let's see here. Right. So number 1 is the teal. Number 2 is the orange or peach. Let's just call it peach. And number 3, let's call it purple. Let's say done. So now we have our prices, our listing of the variants properly set up. Okay. Now this price was the price that you're actually buying it from. I'm not saying that you should list it because then you're not going to have any profits. So first, let's save our work. There are other apps such as, like I mentioned, Printful and Spocket that I strongly recommend for you to connect. It's just that everybody loves AliExpress and they like to get their products in there. What I would recommend instead is just go ahead and add these products manually. You can follow my other video that it comes to that. But as you can see here, we have the product already installed, 2,400 in stock with 12 variants, right? The only thing that gets pretty nasty is just the description that you have to overwrite, and you have to overwrite some of the text when it comes to the variants and such. But that is the gist of it. The next video that you guys are going to learn is once you have all your products set up, right? Once all of the products is working for you, let's go ahead and press cancel on this. Once all the products are installed, how do we get these products into the collections? So that in video part 3, we then connect the collections into the navigation system. And then that way you guys will go ahead and start selling online. Okay. So sorry for the runaround. I just want to make sure that I'm showing you guys true technology on these applications. I've tested more than one and you could see live some of these for drop shipping. They're not so good, but I'm not saying that they're all not good, right? I know Printful is fantastic. Spocket is pretty decent, but for most of our clients, they do private suppliers. So I hope that when you guys are building this business, if you guys are going to sell watches, whatever it is that you guys are going to sell, right? Try to use drop shipping in the beginning, but then find a supplier so that you could do private supplier. Because a lot of folks who are 5+ years on Shopify are not due to drop shipping. It's mostly through private supplier. So you don't want to invest too much money unless you know if the market works, which is why I understand why you're doing drop shipping. But just understand the pain points that come with it, right? Because everything easy, eventually you pay the price somewhere else. Thank you for watching this video, guys. And if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Be prepared for part 2. And thanks again for watching.